Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
I'm Jason Colthorpe in Clinton County, which is just north of Lansing, where someone has spotted a cougar. Oh, and it's legit.
Live at 5 o'clock, a mother and a father do not survive a devastating house explosion. Now an entire community trying to help their 3 daughters.
And a convicted murderer goes off in court before being hauled off to prison.
Put me in prison for somebody to do.
But we begin here at 5 with the heat rising and a threat of storms increasing too.
As we come to you here at 5 p.m., 4 Live radar clear right now, but it's Michigan in June, which means changes could be coming at any minute.
That's right. So let's send it over to Ben to get the very latest on this threat. Ben.
Yeah, guys, this has been a very tough forecast for the last couple of days. And as we get into today and tomorrow, it's proving that out. We don't see a whole lot here. It looks like a cell just trying to get its act together in southern Sanilac County. Most of the activity staying well south of us across northern Indiana and Ohio, and all of this is moving pretty much due east. But you look back up here into West Michigan, and it looks like maybe a cell trying to get going here just to the south of Kalamazoo. So the chances of thunderstorms are there, even though they're on the lowest end of the severe risk of marginal. Chances of severe weather get better tomorrow as we go to slight. But for the rest of tonight, it is going to be warm and humid. Temperatures will stay in the 70s for overnight lows, and any storms that do show up have the potential to become strong. Our chances get better overnight. We'll talk about that in Friday's risk in just a few minutes, guys.
Well, our other top story tonight is this photograph right here. At first glance, it just seems like a picture of a road at night.
When you zoom in, though, things get a little more interesting. Take a look. The Michigan DNR says that is a cougar spotted in the Lower Peninsula for the first time ever. This is a picture taken in Bath Township in Clinton County, and that's where Jason Colthorpe is standing by. And Jason, as you just said, the DNR says it's legit.
It is absolutely legitimate, Devin, which means that cat is roaming this area right now. It was spotted just a couple of miles from here. DNR doesn't like to tell you exactly where. They're worried about poachers and people like that descending upon the exact location. But the other big question is, how did it get here? Physical evidence and this picture confirmed by the Department of Natural Resources as a cougar in Lower Michigan.
The animal went back and paused for a second. He was able to get a picture of it, and then it went off into the weeds again.
In his 10 years with the DNR, Chad Fedewa has seen his share of cougar hoaxes, whether it's Photoshop or photos from another state. But they take every sighting seriously.
You know, we expected up in the UP, where they're coming from the west across Wisconsin, for it to show up here in Lansing is pretty interesting.
Fedewa says cougars can travel long distances, sometimes thousands of miles, but a cougar on the move from the Dakotas to mid-Michigan without being spotted makes you wonder how.
At this point, you know, we can't verify whether it is an actual wild animal that is transient from another population, or if it could have potentially been released or an escaped pet.
It's certainly possible. We had a black bear down here a couple years ago.
Dan Friderisi lives in Bath Township and is also a biologist, so this stunning sighting really hits home.
Well, actually, it makes me concerned. We have 2 dogs that are medium size, and I don't worry about them because there are 2 of them with the coyotes. But with a cougar about, I think I would be worried about the dogs.
I'd be worried with a cougar about, that's for sure. Fedewa also finds it interesting, you know, that the cougars are native to Michigan, but they were pretty much run off by the 1900s. And it's interesting to see them migrating back to Michigan again. Quite a phenomenon there. And it's also not crazy to think, if this is not some exotic pet that was set free and actually did migrate through the lower way around the lake this way, it's not crazy to think one might turn up, or the same one, in the Metro Detroit area. Guys, back to you. A
good thought exercise on how it got here, but I'm wondering if there's any kind of warning going out to residents, Jason.
Not too much. They say it's going to be very rare that you actually come in contact with a cougar. They're nocturnal. They avoid people, but if you do, it's important not to, you know, play dead or run away. You just make loud sounds and kind of scare it off. That's kind of the key. But also, the same warnings do go out for not leaving food out, not leaving the pets out at night also, Devin.
Yeah. All right, fascinating story. All right, Jason. Now, tonight we're learning devastating new details into last night's deadly home explosion in Orion Township.
Today, Sky 4 got an overhead look at the damage. And as you can see just how bad it was. And in that home at the time, a husband and wife who just couldn't get out in time. Sean Lay is live there this evening. And Sean, investigators are keen in on a cause here.
They just gave us an update here at the scene, Karen. Here's the deal. They are looking very strongly at propane being the possible cause of this horrific tragedy here. The homeowner was in the process of transitioning from fuel oil to propane. Last night, though, everything was calm until 8:30 when this happened. An explosion. You can see how devastating it was. Absolutely nothing is left. The couple did not survive. They have 3 daughters. The township just met with 2 of those daughters. They're telling the township they don't know where to begin after getting this awful news. The township, trying to help, has rented them a car, also rented them a home as they wait for another daughter to arrive from Japan as they try to make sense of this all. When it was all said and done, there was this heartbreaking scene. A family member looking at what's left of the home, along with the next door neighbor who tried to save all of the people who were inside the home.
And I heard her inside the house, and I heard him.
In fact, that neighbor, Dave Moen, risked his life just after 8:30 last night when the Dominguez family home on Coates Road exploded. He doesn't want to show his face. He says this is about the Dominguez family, not him. He does tell us the upper level collapsed onto Kathy and Bruce Dominguez. They were in the family room watching TV. Dave ran in. There was no staircase left, but there was Kim Dominguez, the couple's 29-year-old daughter. The fire hadn't erupted yet, and Dave could hear Bruce Dominguez knocking on the floorboards for help.
He was just saying, "I'm here, help." I couldn't even get in the house. That part of the house had all collapsed down.
57-year-old Kathy and 65-year-old Bruce, they built this home together, and now they were trapped. That's when things actually got worse.
Then the fire started, and then once it caught, it went quick.
What's left to do now? A cousin saving photos and items that will remind them always of Kathy and Bruce, and a neighbor who tells me he wishes he could have done more.
I was just trying to get them out.
While we were out here with investigators, everyone kind of looked up at the same time and saw this, a camera on a pole right in front of the home, another camera on a pole barn here. The chief, though, says all the materials to capture video here may have been inside the house. They're still trying to track that down. Meantime, let's talk about these daughters. 2 are in the Air Force. 1 came in from South Carolina today. 1 is serving in the Air Force in Japan. She'll be here late tonight or early tomorrow. They do not want to come here, Karen, and see this right away. They're all going to get together, talk, and then they'll come out here and look at the house that their parents built sometime tomorrow. Back to you.
Can't imagine taking a look at what is left there, Sean. I do understand there is some speculation on social media that the couple's dog got out and is missing. What can you tell us about that?
And plenty of people have come by worried about this dog if the dog did run away. The family members that were here say no, the dog was inside at the time. They absolutely do not believe the dog made it out.
All right, Sean Lay live for us tonight. Now, to a bizarre case that came to an end today in a very bizarre way.
It did. Today, Gregory Neiman was sentenced for murdering his elderly father, but it's what Neiman said during today's hearing that left everyone in the courtroom pretty floored. Sandra Ali is here to show us what happened. Sandra.
Well, Devin, Karen, you know, this is bizarre. Earlier this year, Gregory Neiman was found guilty of first-degree premeditated murder. That was for strangling his 89-year-old father to death back in 2015. Today, he was sentenced to life in prison, but not before the hearing turned into a rant of conspiracies.
I don't believe you for a second. I don't know if you believe it yourself.
Yeah, I do believe it.
Sure, it's not true.
Well, I do believe it. I'm speaking the truth.
For 20 minutes, Gregory Neiman went back and forth between Judge Jennifer Founts. Neiman had fired his attorney before the hearing and represented himself, which gave him a chance to review the sentencing report, something he claims is filled with lies and inaccuracies.
I don't believe my father was murdered. Okay? I don't believe that one bit. And I know I didn't murder my father. I love my father.
The sentencing continued to spiral out of control with rants about the 3 branches of government.
I do need the government to look into this. If it's the governor, the lieutenant governor, the attorney general.
Neiman also focused parts of his rant on the prosecutor, who he claims lied during his entire murder trial.
Judge, let's be absolutely,
you can respond now.
Absolutely clear that everything the defendant has just said is patently false. It's absolutely wrong. These are frankly, the rantings of a conspiracy theorist.
Eventually, he had to be escorted out of the courtroom after blowing up at the judge and proclaiming his innocence.
You have 42 days from today's date to file for leave to appeal. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint one.
A court-appointed attorney in a case like mine, they don't give a hoot. They do anything with the prosecution.
You're done.
Now, we should point out his sentence comes without the possibility of parole. You can watch the entire 20-minute hearing on our website, clickondetroit.com. Devin, Karen.
All right, Sandra, and now just into the newsroom, we have a boil water alert just issued for parts of the city of Monroe. That's after E. coli has been found in the water supply. This is an advisory that covers the area along La Pleasance Road, south of Hull Road, to the south end of Bowles Harbor. No other areas impacted. The Water Department expects the problem to be resolved, though, within the next 48 hours. Just as soon as there's a change in the status, we will let you know. But for now, a boil water alert in effect for that area. A Detroit business ransacked by thieves.
These aren't just regular crooks, one-time hits.
New tonight, what makes this robbery so different and how it's impacting an entire community.
President Trump's controversial travel ban goes into effect today. I'm Blaine Alexander with details coming up.
All right, Blaine, but first, prosecutors admit they got it wrong. A man charged with sexually assaulting and murdering his own child sees all the charges against him dropped. That's next.
New at 6.
Chilling testimony from a woman who says she was attacked by a stranger inside her Grosse Pointe Woods home.
I said, no, please. And he said, you want to die.
New at 6, what she says happened to her right in front of her child. Also, our first look at a local mother accused of a bizarre attempt on her son's life at a local cemetery. That's at 6.
Today, the case against a man charged with the murder and sexual assault of an 8-month-old girl in Inkster has been dismissed. 22-year-old James Lee Saltmarshall was previously charged with criminal sexual conduct, murder, and child abuse in connection to the death of his infant daughter. The little girl died from trauma injuries to her head in April. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office ruled to have the case dismissed after the medical examiner ruled the death was an accident.
Tonight, President Trump's controversial executive order restricting travel from 6 predominantly Muslim countries goes into effect with permission from the Supreme Court. Blaine Alexander has more on the so-called travel ban and how it's going to be enforced. Blaine?
Well, Devin, as of 8 p.m. Eastern time, that ban is in effect. Now, lower courts had previously blocked it as unconstitutional, but President Trump says it is necessary to keep the country safe. Today, airports around the world are preparing for President Trump's travel ban to take effect, at least partially. His blocked executive order limiting travel to the U.S. from 6 predominantly Muslim countries given a temporary go-ahead from the Supreme Court.
I am concerned that we are seeing renewed interest on the part of terrorist groups to go after the aviation sector, from bombing aircraft to attacking airports on the ground.
But today, confusion over who is allowed in. The order grants access to travelers with credible ties to family, education, or business. Allowed parents, spouses, children, sons and daughters-in-law, and siblings. But not covered extended family, including grandparents and grandchildren, aunts and uncles, nieces, nephews, and cousins. Set them free. The government says do not expect the airport chaos seen back in January when the first travel ban went into effect.
You would have thought they learned the lesson the first time around, that they should get their ducks in a row first, make sure that what they're doing is at least sensible or logical in some way before they start to put people in really difficult situations where they're being separated from their family members.
The Supreme Court will hear the full case in October, the final ruling on whether the executive order stays or goes. And the State Department says, unlike the first go-round with enforcement, this time all existing visas will be honored. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine. Also making big news today, a pair of tweets from the president aimed at cable news hosts Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. The president called the pair, quote, low IQ, crazy, and psycho. And then the president went on to say Brzezinski was, quote, bleeding badly from a facelift when he met them in Florida. The comments have been strongly criticized by lawmakers and pundits on both sides of the aisle. Scarborough and Brzezinski have been openly critical of the president, both personally and politically, in recent months.
Well, we have been talking about a threat of weather affecting us this evening because we've got some pop-up storms that could be on our way.
Yeah, the threat looks a little bit more intense tomorrow, but it's going to be tough to rule one out tonight.
It's one of those days that makes it so fun to be a meteorologist, wouldn't you say?
Yes, pulling my hair out right and left. But we've been keeping an eye on the radar, and we'll take a look at that here in a second. The one thing we have noticed from our tower cam shots is not exactly crisp and clear that we've been seeing the last few days. The humidity is back. 86 is where we sit on the thermometer. Heat index not that much higher, only at 87, but those dew points out there, which is how we measure the humidity this time of year, starting to approach the mid-60s, so that's going to become muggy tonight. And you'll notice that especially with those morning lows that aren't going to drop much beyond 70 degrees. And then, of course, the other thing we're watching is that severe storm threat. There's not a lot of activity going on in the state of Michigan outside of that one cell that we've been tracking just southeast of Kalamazoo right now, and a larger line of thunderstorms that's been staying south of us across northern parts of Indiana and Ohio. Now, there's a little bit more activity going on over here in northern parts of Illinois. You can see kind of a swirl there. It's what we call a vorticity maximum, and that's just basically a big word meaning it's got its act together. As that gets closer to us tonight, we could see some renewed thunderstorm activity closer to midnight, and we'll talk about that in a second. But it's been a pretty nice day in some parts of southeast Michigan. One of our storm pins we got in from Fenton. Kathy's enjoying a view from her back patio. Hopefully she got some time out on the boat this afternoon. We've got a cold front that is just going to hang off to our north. So we're in what we call the warm sector, and that's where the heat and humidity is starting to build. And you can see that that area that we're tracking out in northern parts of Illinois is going to start rolling in here overnight and possibly by very early tomorrow morning. That looks like the most likely chance of thunderstorms, and any of those could have winds that approach 60 miles an hour. So that's why we've got that severe storm threat out tonight. We should dry out at least temporarily, and then tomorrow we'll look in the afternoon, evening for another round of potential wet weather, and some of those storms could be strong as well. Cold front crosses through very early on Saturday. That takes the humidity with it, but it doesn't really drop temperatures all that much. We'll still be in the low 80s for both Saturday and Sunday, and a mainly dry stretch of weather as we head through the 4th of July, with some exceptions. 69 tonight, and again, periodic showers and storms. Those chances get increasingly better as we get overnight, and that area starts to move closer to us from Illinois tonight. High temperatures tomorrow, very similar to today, maybe a little bit cooler depending on the cloud cover. We'll call it 86 in the city. South zone temperatures almost identical here, 85, 86. And we're really not anticipating a lot of difference between our zones, as mid 80s are generally going to be what we see across the area, with slightly cooler numbers up here in the parts of Sanilac County, which will be in the low 80s tomorrow afternoon. 80s will remain all the way through Thursday of next week. And even though we've got rain chances in here for Saturday and also Monday and Tuesday, those are pretty slight. I think a lot of us are going to get through the 4-day stretch from Saturday through Tuesday with nary a drop of rain. And then as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, heat starts to build and those thunderstorm chances look a little bit better. But if you're going to be outdoors either tonight or especially on Friday, keep your eyes to the sky and make sure you get your local forecasters out.
Just pop up any old place, it looks like.
That's right.
Thank you, Ben. Well, it's no secret public bathrooms are full of germs, but how do you avoid as many as possible? Doc?
Well, coming up, the one thing that you should never take in and why you should dry your hands and why that could make a big difference.
All right, Doc, but first take a good look at this video who police are hoping you'll recognize to help them solve a violent crime. When Local 4 News at 5 comes right back. A deadly shooting now has Detroit police asking for your help in finding one woman and 4 men.
Police are looking for this woman in the pink shirt and the man in the white shirt and jeans walking behind her. Police also want to speak with all 3 men seen here. We're told everyone is considered possible witnesses in the case of a man found shot to death on 8 Mile Road near Shaner on Wednesday.
A Local 4 update now tonight to a tragic story. The house fire that claimed the lives of a grandmother and her 3-year-old twin grandsons this week has been ruled accidental.
The fire broke out Tuesday morning at a home on 7 Mile in Losser. The grandmother tried to get the twins out, but was overcome with smoke. Investigators had said they believe the kitchen stove may have started the fire.
In Flint, a top state health official was arraigned today, 2 weeks after being charged in connection with the city's water crisis.
Nick Lyon, the director of Michigan's Department of Health and Human Services, appeared in court accompanied by his defense team. He is charged with involuntary manslaughter and stands accused of intentionally withholding analysis into the Legionnaire's outbreak. Lyon is facing up to 15 years in prison if convicted.
New at 5:30.
choosing life.
I knew I had to stay clean. You know, I'm much too old to be out here using, much too old to be in that kind of life.
This local grandmother overcame addiction. Now just wait until you see how she's now helping others.
You come to downtown Detroit and you see this mess, the Wayne County Jail, and you wonder when the heck are they going to fix this thing? Well, the proposals are in. Let's find out what's in them.
A contracting business on Detroit's west side was broken into, and this isn't the first time. We'll show you surveillance video from the brazen robbery.
It's dinner time. Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
It was all caught on camera, a robbery as thieves get away with thousands of dollars worth of tools and much, much more. It tops our news tonight at 5:30. Thieves targeted DGV Contracting on Detroit's west side, stealing tens of thousands of dollars worth of materials and also tools.
Yeah, Coco McAvoy spoke with the owner of the business as the hunt goes on for who did it.
The contractor Dan Villarreal has been working hard to help rehab the neighborhood, but he can't seem to catch a break. And it's truly amazing in the worst way to see the lengths these thieves went through just to break into his building and steal his tools.
These aren't just regular crooks one-time hits.
Because most crooks would be deterred by Dan Villarreal's barbed wire, security cameras, and gated and locked front door.
So we took a lot of measures to prevent the break-ins, but I guess we didn't think every whole lot they could get into.
Like this window belonging to a neighboring business.
And they broke the windows and they were able to push the drywall down and gain entry to the building.
Surveillance video also shows the guys coming in through the garage.
You can see right here the pry marks.
They stole 10 grand worth of stuff like doors, tools, and a furnace. And this isn't the first time.
We lost over $60,000 in a 6-month period.
So Villarreal feels helpless.
The police are great, hardworking people, but you get limited help from them.
He just wants his stuff back, so he's making an offer to the thieves.
We'll give you a job. I'll honestly give whoever did it a job.
Because just like Villarreal is giving the community a second chance by rehabbing homes, he wants to give the thieves another chance too.
But it's okay to make a mistake. We're human. It's what you do next that defines who you are.
Villarreal says the thieves left the garage door open for hours after the robbery. He did file a police report, and we spoke with an official from the Detroit Police Department. They say they are investigating. On Detroit's west side, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
All right, Coco, the surveillance video shows the thieves loading items into a truck with the name Rokay Floral Inc. on it. Rokay, R-O-K-A-Y. The owner of the floral company says their company has nothing to do with the crime.
We've seen, I think, a little bit of everything today, and I think we're going to keep a close eye on the chance of some storms tonight.
Yes, when this temperature started rising, the humidity started going up. That was a couple indications that we would be in for it tonight. And even though we don't have anything out there right now, those thunderstorm threats are going to be around for about the next 36 hours for the possibility of strong storms. And so far, about the only thing we've seen is just a little bit of a downpour out here in Lexington, now starting to move into parts of Lake Huron, but we're anticipating that further south there's a little bit of activity coming out of Kalamazoo. It hasn't really started to strengthen much. We'll keep an eye on it as it rolls just south of Marshall, paralleling 94. So far, all the activity has been to our south and doesn't look like it wants to go any further north. So this stuff should stay away from us. There's another area in parts of Illinois that could get us overnight. We'll talk about that in our Friday threat for severe thunderstorms coming up in a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben, the proposed solutions to the Wayne County jail mess are in, and now it's up to the county to decide how it wants to proceed.
We bring in our business editor, Rob Maloney, live downtown with the details of these newly submitted plans. There is a lot of reading suddenly to do here, Rod.
Well, you got 5 or 6 good hours, Devin. You could spend some time either with the Walsh proposal or the Rock Ventures proposal. The idea, though, is to make this all go away. The Walsh construction proposal keeps the jail right where it is, comes with 2 different sizes. The first is a small one, 1,608 beds, and with it comes new courthouse, prosecutor's offices, sheriff's administrative offices, and a juvenile detention center. The cost? $269 million. But the original jail design was for something much larger. So Walsh is also offering a 2,200-bed jail with the same contents, jumping up in cost to roughly $318 million. Construction would start this fall and move-in slated for June of 2020. Rock Ventures wants the county to buy this city-owned 13-acre parcel off I-75 at Russell and East Warren Avenue, a City DDOT bus repair barn for its new and still larger jail. Rock offering 2,280 beds, a new courthouse, prosecutor's offices, sheriff's administration, and 160-bed juvenile detention center at a total cost of just over $520 million. But the county has to pick up the first 380 plus pay for the land acquisition tab. Rock would want the bus barn purchased by mid-September and construction to start by next spring and finished by November of 2020. Wayne County Executive Warren Evans happy to get the new jail plans and put out this statement today saying, quote, "We're finally able to fully evaluate the proposals and pursue what's best for Wayne County. Just like everyone else in Wayne County, I'm tired of talk. I want the jail project resolved," end quote. Okay, and here's something else in the Rock Ventures proposal. They're going to require the county to essentially pay for employee parking at a parking garage that goes in nearby where they want to put that whole complex, and they would have to have a 20-year lease on that. That's just one of the many things that's in there. If you want to read all of this or any of this for yourself, it's all linked on clickondetroit.com. In downtown Detroit, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Thank you, Rod. The top financial advisor for Pope Francis has been charged with sex crimes.
Cardinal George Pell is the highest-ranking Vatican official to ever be charged with abuse. This morning, Pope Francis said Pell was charged for decades-old actions. Meanwhile, Pell claims he did nothing wrong.
I'm looking forward, finally, to having my day in court. The whole idea of sexual abuse is abhorrent to me.
It's the second time Pell has faced accusations relating to sexual abuse. Last year, he admitted to mishandling sexual abuse claims in Australia. He will be in court on these new charges in July. It'll be handled in Australia rather than at the Vatican.
Sometimes you walk into a public bathroom and the only word really that comes to mind is ick, right? Other times everything may look clean, but it's probably not.
Dr. Frank McGeorge here with the bathroom germs that you want to avoid. Is that possible?
Not quite, Devin and Sandra. As a matter of fact, it is in fact impossible to sterilize a bathroom. And that means you're exposing yourself to some of the stuff the last users left behind. Some harmful germs like norovirus, salmonella, dangerous strains of E. coli and staph, they hide in plain sight. And here's how to avoid them.
Public restrooms are not typically known for their cleanliness. The good news is there are ways to limit coming into contact with bacteria that's lurking in the bathroom. A good place to start is by limiting what you take into the restroom, like your phone.
A recent study showed that up to 20% of cell phones have more fecal matter than the toilet seat and more germs, which is disgusting. So you have to try not to bring your phone in.
If you do take your phone into the restroom, wipe it down afterward. Setting your purse on the restroom floor is another no-no. It's better to hang the purse on a hook and avoid setting it down on any restroom surface. One study of public bathrooms showed traces of more than 77,000 types of bacteria and viruses, including many harmful strains. Washing your hands after using the restroom is important to get rid of germs and bacteria, but how you dry your hands makes a difference too.
When you're drying your hands, I would definitely use paper towels, not the blow dryers in the public bathrooms, because that air is full of germs from all the multiple toilet flushes. And so studies have shown that it's cleaner to use a paper towel.
Now, it's also a good idea to use a clean paper towel to turn the sink off and also to open the door on your way out. And you shouldn't be paranoid or phobic about public bathrooms. Just be smart about the surfaces that you actually contact.
You have something to say.
Well, no, the doctor and I have had this long-running conversation about whether we have worked too hard to get germs out of our life, and now we can't fight off anything.
Exactly. And, you know, the fact of life is there are bacteria in bathrooms. You cannot avoid it. It's just limiting your contact with anything that could be harmful.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Gotcha. All right.
Common sense.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Thanks, Doc.
Well, at a time when all too often we worry about ourselves, an 11-year-old Detroit girl seems to want to help others.
In this week's Heart of Detroit, Mitch Albom introduces us to Jeronica Crenshaw and her infectious message for change.
living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, golden.
11-year-old Jeronica Crenshaw grew up hearing from her parents what it means to help others, but it's her own compassion that sets her apart from her peers.
I noticed a lot of kids like to play on their phones these days and not worry about cleaning and helping others. But I like to help other people because you never know what somebody's going through, so it's just a good thing to help people.
It's a simple concept, but one that's made a huge impact in her community.
Do you sort of wake up each day and look around the neighborhood and say, what can I do to help?
Yes. Like a lady around the corner from me, I like to mow her lawn because she can't walk. So she's in a wheelchair, so I just like to help her.
When was the first lawn that you mowed?
Mine.
How old were you then?
Probably like 8.
Was it hard to push a lawnmower when you were 8?
Yes.
Or was the lawnmower pushing you?
Pulling me.
Jeronica does each project with a smile, including her Change for Change program to build a neighborhood park.
The parks we have are schools, and we would like to just have a regular neighborhood park with maybe a sit and spin, a swing, and just like a sandbox, little things just for the kids to have fun.
Her message for change is infectious, and her love for her neighborhood is unmistakable.
What's special about being in a neighborhood?
Knowing people can count on you to do things that they might not be able to do, it makes me feel good about myself.
Jeronica Crenshaw is proving that with hard work and positive thinking, change is possible right here in the heart of Detroit.
She should be feeling good about herself.
Yeah, such a simple message. I love that sign, too.
Jeronica Crenshaw is a great name,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's going to take her place.
She's destined for stardom.
Absolutely. Maybe just a movie prop, but to one Star Wars fan, it is worth millions.
New tonight, the insane price R2-D2 fetched at an auction.
It definitely was not caused by the Northern Lights. New here at 5:30, we'll show you what caused this awesome light show along the Virginia coast. Karen?
A former drug addict turns her life around and saves 4 other lives.
The pulse was coming back and, you know, the eyes in the back of her head coming forward, you know, and it's just a breath of life, and I felt like...
How she turned her life around and amazing things she's doing for others. Next.
This